Greetings RC friends, welcome to Props and Wheels and hopefully to the last episode of the review of Eachine E520S GPS camera drone. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I respectfully recommend you to go and watch them first so that this video makes sense in terms of content. If you watched the previous episodes, you know that the image quality on this drone was terrible. And I have some theories about why that is. Other than that, the drone was great. I really like it. I like the idea of being able to purchase a beginner GPS drone for less than $50 or at $50. And it had great features. It flies well and it has 5 GHz transmission of the signal. It has a micro SD card on the bottom, so you're not only recording on your phone but directly recording on the SD card in order to make the quality of the videos and pictures much better. And overall, it is a nice drone, less than 250 grams, so you don't have to register it with the FAA. But since it's a camera drone, the images need to be at least decent, not like grainy, not out of focus. During the first outdoor flight, I speculated 3 reasons that may cause the issue with the image quality.
How does the video look? So I'm probably going to do one more video to give the final verdict after I have a chance to watch the videos, look at the pictures.
The first one, the vibration, the second one, the cold, and the third one, camera being defective or out of focus. Not necessarily the chip, because I think it has good resolution. The chip has good resolution, but the focus of the lens in front of it is not properly set. So if that's the case, maybe it's a defective drone and I may be able to get another drone or just the camera from Banggood. I'm going to reach out to the customer service and request that. So in order to be able to decide what caused the image quality issues, I made a couple more videos and I'm going to show you some pictures and videos in the next couple minutes. So the first one was vibration. And this video segment during takeoff, which I'll be displaying now, will show you the background before the takeoff when the propellers are not spinning, as well as after the takeoff. And if you compare these 2 images taken from this video just before the takeoff and just after the takeoff, if you look at the tree behind, there is not much deterioration in the image quality. There is some jello effect that I saw in the later videos when it was up in the air, but that's to be expected because this drone doesn't have a gimbal to stabilize the camera, neither does it have an EIS system or electronic image stabilization, so just some jello and some vibration effect is to be expected in the videos. But I don't think the vibration is the main cause of the image quality issue. The chip of a camera in the cold does not function as well as a chip at room temperature. So I'm going to show you 2 video segments. One during the takeoff when the battery was still warm because I just came out of the house. It has been only a couple minutes outdoors. And then the other one during landing at the end of the flight, maybe 8 to 10 minutes later. If you now concentrate on the image of this large tree on the background, during the takeoff, when the drone is just coming up, the tree is in better focus than compared to this video when the drone is actually landing about 8 minutes later. So there is some deterioration due to the cold, but it does not explain the low quality grainy image. Which brings us to the last cause that I think has the major impact on the image quality on this drone, which is the focus has not been set properly on the camera. So the lens is focusing the near field much better than the far field. It should have been somewhere in between or mostly far field because you don't use a drone to look at things that are very close, a couple inches away from the camera. You use a drone to record far away objects and towards the horizon. So now check out this picture when the drone was sitting on the helipad. Because this image shows part of the helipad as well as the grass behind it. But it also shows part of the background where you see the rest of the park and the large tree. Now I'm going to zoom in on the grass and I'm going to keep zooming in until we start seeing the pixelation. As you see, the pixels are very sharp, and you get a sharp image of everything at the near field a couple inches away from the camera. Now I'm going to zoom out on this picture, and I'm going to zoom in on the tree itself. And by the way, I'm using the same end zoom. And look at the outline of the branches. They are very fuzzy and the image is terrible. So let me zoom back out again, and you can see the near field is in much better focus than the far field. And here is the segment of the video during the landing. You can see the far field, the tree, and it is so fuzzy. But as the drone gets closer to the helipad and lands, you will see that the near field is in perfect focus. And in this last video, I'm going to show myself, and I'm holding this transmitter, and I'm going to bring it closer to the drone and then take it away again. So look how fuzzy I am and how bad this transmitter looks. And I'm bringing it to the drone while it's flying. So the drone is up in the air and stable. And this is showing the transmitter closest to the camera. And I'm going to pause the video here. Look how sharp the details on the buttons are. Let's start the video again, and I'm going to take it away, and the image quickly becomes fuzzy again. Hence my conclusion is it is a defective camera, not a defective drone. So I'm going to reach out to Banggood customer service and request either the camera, so they sell it separately, although it's like $40, almost as expensive as the drone, or I'm going to ask them to send me a new drone because this is defective. I'm willing to return it if they want it. Let's see how they are going to respond. In the past, I had great experience with Banggood customer service, and if they send me a camera or a drone, I'm planning to make one final video and then compare the image quality of this drone with the new camera or with the new drone. So what is the final verdict? In terms of the price point, this drone brings a lot for $50. The only couple things that are missing in a $50 drone, I mean there are not many, but I wish they had a downward facing camera for optical flow positioning. That sensor would have made this drone a much better indoor drone as well. Indoor, you have to be on the stick all the time. So I do not recommend flying this indoors if you are not experienced. Outdoors, when the GPS signal is available, it is dead stable and it doesn't drift much. So it is a really good GPS drone. The other thing I would love to have was the camera angle being adjustable from the remote control. Now there's a Pro version that has that capability, but that version doesn't have the micro SD card. Outdoor performance was superb in my opinion, and the geofencing feature, which only let me fly out about 200 meters or around 650 feet, is great for beginners, so you don't lose. Even at that point, it was a speck in the sky, I could barely see it and fly it line of sight. And you should keep line of sight when you are flying drones. Another pain point on this drone is the app. The app worked for certain things like Follow Me, but it did not work for Waypoint or Orbit Me. So I need to fly probably a little more. Maybe there is a trick for getting it done, but it shouldn't be that difficult. So the app is only meh. The battery life was decent. I didn't get to do an exact battery test for how long it lasts, but it was probably around 10 minutes, and for a $50 GPS camera drone, I think it is good. After all, it's a beginner drone. So now it is time to give it a props and wheels score. Actually, I'm going to give two scores. The first one is going to be assuming that the camera is the way it is. So it is not a faulty camera, and this is the quality you are going to get. If that's the case, since this is a camera drone, I'm going to give it 2 props. Everything else works, the GPS works great, but this is after all a camera drone and you would like to get a good quality image. Now, if we assume the camera is faulty and if I replace it or try out another drone, it's going to give much better performance, as good as the performance we have seen for the near field focus, then I'm going to give this drone 4.5 props. And the 2 reasons of my deduction are the app performance and indoor flight performance due to lack of an optical flow positioning sensor on the bottom. Those would have made this drone, a $50 drone, perfect. Alright, that's it folks. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you on the next video. Stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.